Welcome to today's podcast with Lotus Bank. Today we are with the market leader in the non-interest banking space. I'm sure people are wondering which one be non-interest banking. I've heard non-interest banking. Is it not the normal banking that we know that you go to the bank, they charge me interest at the end of the month? Which one is non-interest banking? We are with someone from the Sharia department of Lotus Bank, in the person of Lukman. Mr. Lukman, good morning.
So thank you. Good morning. So I'm excited to be part of this program.
Thank you, Mr. Lukman. And also we have the group head, Mr. Adeoye, who is the group head of retail and SME banking, Lotus Bank. Mr. Adeoye, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, I'm excited also be here. Good morning.
People are wondering, what is non-interest banking? I've been hearing of it in Nigeria. Which one is non-interest banking? As the market woman will say, which one be non-interest banking? What is non-interest banking and its origin? So I will direct the question to you, Lukman.
Okay, non-interest banking, it is a banking system that also known as interest-free banking. So it is a banking system that is governed by the principles laid down by Islamic law.
Okay.
So, and its origin can be traced back to the Middle East. So the business people of the Middle East. So while they were having their financial transactions with their European counterparts. So that's what history said. But down to Nigeria here, the CBN Act gave the permission to the non-interest banking in Nigeria to be established. So that's why we have many banks in Nigeria here now that are offering products that is in line with product and services that is in line with interest banking. Yeah. So one of them is Lotus Bank.
All right.
So Lotus Bank, what Lotus Bank does is that all the transactions of Lotus Banks are in line with Sharia principles,
which is non-interest
banking. Yes.
All right. There's this misconception that people have when they hear Sharia banking, or that it started off with Islam. It's just a lay down rule, but anyone can have access to it.
So I can tell you that even in the world presently, we have many banks, many non-interest banks across the world. Okay. You go to Britain. Britain is not a Muslim country. Germany is not a Muslim country. But when you go there, you find these banks operating in their territory. So let's not talk about the people in the Middle East or Malaysia. Those are the Muslim countries. But the Luxembourg and some other countries like that. So you find non-interest banks operating in those jurisdictions.
One of the things I found very interesting about non-interest banking is that once you know about how non-interest banks work, you would want to rush towards non-interest banking. Yeah. It's a secret that I'm sure the listeners are going to explore further. But we're talking about non-interest banking. We want to know, what are the guiding principles for Islamic banking, especially in terms of profit and loss sharing?
Okay, so there are basic principles that we can mention here. So that is non-interest banking. So is based. So the transaction of non-interest banking is based on these principles. So number one is that the contract of non-interest banking must be sanctity. So must be valid, must be Sharia compliant. Okay. So what does that mean? Is that the transaction must not be a prohibited transactions. Like for example, now we cannot say we want to do transactions with anything that has to do with brewery, alcohol, all those things. So once we know that these transactions are valid, we are good to go.
All right.
Number two is the interest. Interest is prohibited.
Okay.
It's clearly prohibited in the Quran. It is the transaction of non-NIB, non-interest banking. So it is interest is out of it.
Right.
So either taking or receiving, or giving. So it is not allowed.
So that's where the profit and loss sharing.
Okay, yes, the bank accepts deposit.
Okay.
So from the customers.
All right.
So this deposit here, so when the bank accept this deposit, the deposit are deployed. So for financing activities for business of the bank, and whatever comes out of it as profit, so it's shared. So between the bank and the customers.
Okay.
You understand me? So that is the profit and loss sharing.
All right.
So the profits of the investment is shared. So between the contracting parties, that is them. So the bank and the customers. So in this regard, so if there is any loss, so all the people involved in the transaction, so we share the loss. But thank God, so I can tell you that so since we've been operating our bank, so we've not even having any loss.
I don't want us to have. We want more profits than we want losses. Thank you, Mr. Lukman. So we're going to move over to you, Mr. Adeoye. I like the way you were smiling before, and while Lukman was speaking, you were enthusiastic and you wanted to just chip in. So I want to know, what is Lotus Bank interest and focus in the Islamic banking space?
Okay, so our focus really is to bridge the gap between the rich and poor, is to make sure that business is run in an ethical way so that we can have a very just and the business can strive. One of the things that we've seen in a lot of society and a lot of economy is that business are not run the way it should run ethically. And so we feel that one of the ways that we can improve our economy and improve our banking system is to make sure that we run our business in an ethical way. We involve in our business in business that should be done properly and a fund business that should be done. This also dovetails in, if you look at our vision of the bank, our vision of the bank is that we want to provide innovative solutions that drive ethical prosperity to all stakeholders. So we want to make sure that we drive, ethical prosperity to all. We really want to play in all business area, like except the provider area that my colleague mentioned on.
Okay.
Our core business and some other business that will impede the society will not be involved with. So our focus is to make sure that we run an ethical business that will guide ethical prosperity to all stakeholders in the country.
I like the fact that you mentioned prosperity. One of the guiding principles of every great economy is that their people are prosperous, and not just being prosperous, doing it in an ethical way. And that is what Lotus Bank is focusing on. And I appreciate that from you. We're just going to take another one from you, Mr. Adeoye, so that you can give us more insight. So how can we find more insight on this ethical banking and investment? What are the contact information that we can reach out that if someone listening to this can just grab onto?
Okay, so I just touched on the last thing, and interestingly, our part of our core values, what we derive on is the 3 P's. What we call that, we want to partner with stakeholders, we want to partner with people in the country, we want to make sure that your business prosper and of course have progress. So we call it what we call partner, progress, and prosper. So we started about 2 years ago, and we've done very well in the banking space. We currently have about 42 locations across over 14 states.
Wow.
We're in Lagos, we're in Ogun, Oyo, we're in Kano, we're in Port Harcourt, we're in Minna, we're across 42 locations. And hopefully we're planning to close this year with about 60. We're going to do about 50. Then going to next year, we plan to do more. So we're across this. We're a national bank. So we have a license to operate in all the geopolitical zones in the country. We're expanding to Yola, Kaduna, Kebbi, Sokoto. We're going to Edo. We're going to everywhere. And currently, like I said, we have 42 locations. We have our contact center where people can reach us. We have our branches. You can walk into one of our branches. The way we run our business, I guess, is open. And one of the things that also differentiates us from other banks is that we don't do a lot of charges other banks do. Banks today will charge account maintenance fee, what we used to call COT then. So you can have your business running with Lotus Bank and we're not charging you COT account maintenance. Once you also take what you call loan, we call it facility with the bank. You see other banks are charging you with huge interest, some other crazy charges, admin fees, processing fees, and all that. We don't have all those fees. It's all in that we just charge. We don't have all those, so we don't have charges. And we also have visible product in terms of your account opening. Once you open an account with us, you can make your telephone number your account number, so it's easy for you to remember. So we have a lot of great features. Our banking, we don't do a lot of paper. We want to withdraw, we want to do deposit, you're filling withdrawal slip deposits. We don't do that also in our bank, what we call paperless. We have tab, you go into our banking, just point a tab, punch in your account number, the account amount you want to withdraw. Easy banking. So we made banking very simple. The fact that we run on those guiding principles, we also want to make innovative. That is also part of our core values. We drive innovations. I want to innovate and continue to innovate and also, make a great stride into the economy. Thank you.
So there's prosperity, there's care for the environment, paperless, there's the digital innovation, there's the cut across branches across different segments of Nigeria. Absolutely. In geopolitical zones. Absolutely. And even with further expansions that are coming in. It's amazing. And for those that have learned one or two things today, from the origin of Islamic banking to how Lotus Bank is partnering with you as a customer, and even for existing customers and prospective customers, to tell you that Lotus Bank is here to be your partner. We're not even just talking about just ordinary banking, to be your partner, your everyday partner in banking, your everyday partner in your business. So personal banking, your business banking, you have Lotus Bank covered. So thank you, Mr. Adeoye, today for coming on, and Mr. Lukman. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this section.
Yeah, it's been an amazing session, and we'll hope to see you the next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.